Hello everyone and welcome to the Student Spotlight, your go-to podcast for meaningful conversation and deep insights on life of students studying abroad. I'm Pareen Shah and I'm excited to embark on this journey with you. We'll delve into the conversations that's sure to leave you thinking. In today's episode, we have Somil, who's pursuing his undergraduate degree in business management at the University of Birmingham. With a background in commerce, Somil developed a keen interest in stock markets, leading him to start learning and investing in them. He has also opted for a placement year as a part of his course. Tune in as Somil discusses the opportunities that can arise from choosing a placement year and shares his experiences so far.
So I'm from Delhi. I've done my schooling from Delhi in Lotus Valley International School. So for my 11th and 12th, I had subjects like accounting, business studies, economics and maths with English. So in my 10th, I scored around 82. In my 12th, my scores were 90 point something. And yes, so for my 11th, it was a COVID year. So we were at house, so we missed on a lot of things that were covered in 11th as in CBSE. 11th and 12th are quite linked up. So we had difficulties in 12th covering up the things that were missed out in 11th, but there were some plus points. I was quite inclined towards stock market during that times, so I started learning new skills like Excel. I did a lot of research and started investing for my own self. So that was a plus point that I had with COVID. And so after 12th I had decided I have to come to UK, so I started seeing for colleges. So major options that I saw was Warwick, Birmingham, Leeds, Nottingham and Manchester. So majorly I wanted to go to Warwick because I have some of my relatives that live in UK told me that Warwick is one of the best universities, and obviously in ranking also Warwick Business School is one of the best.
Stands out, yes.
Yeah, but unfortunately I was rejected from there.
Okay. Why was that? Like your scores are good.
It was because in mathematics and 10th I scored 79 and the minimum passing criteria for them was 80, so I lagged behind.
Just for a mark. So you had to score 80 in your
80 in mathematics,
maths, which you had 1 mark less. Okay.
I was left with Manchester and Birmingham, so then Manchester, I was more inclined toward Manchester first because seeing the attractive ranking, it's one of the highest ranked out of which I applied globally. But then Birmingham is a better campus. A lot of people told me it's quite more beautiful, and so I decided I should come to Birmingham. And it's not even just about the numbers, you also have to see the community in which kind of people you're going to live for 3 years. So
absolutely. So Birmingham stands out?
Yeah, in the community that's in Birmingham, that's quite good because and even the university, the facilities they provide to international students are quite good.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. Birmingham again, and it's not too far from London.
Yeah.
Did you not apply to any London universities? You didn't want to be there because coming from Delhi.
Yeah.
Right.
So I wanted to be in London, but the thing is, London is quite fast, and just living in a fast city. In Birmingham, you get a mixture of both. A small town, when you want the calmness, you have the calmness. When you want the party life, you have it here. Okay. So it's a mixture of both, and it's in the center of UK, so it's easy to communicate anywhere. And so for the missing part in London, we usually travel like 2 to 3 times in a month to London.
Right. No, it makes sense, and it's not too far. That's the biggest advantage to be in Birmingham, and like you said, connectivity is good. So how's your course like? You're studying business management.
Business
right?
management.
So how is it? Tell us more about.
Okay, so basically the plus point of having business management, so when you join in your first year, you have all the subjects like marketing, finance, leadership, basic organization skills. So it touches all the basic aspects of business, so you get a more clearer view of what exactly are you inclined towards and what you want to pursue. So back in my India also, when I passed my 12th, I know I was more inclined towards finance and wanted to opt for accounting and finance rather than just business management. But then a lot of people and my counselors also suggested me that you should opt for business management because in the first year it touches all the aspects, so you'll be more sure that you are willing to study the subjects for the rest of the years. and then when you come into second year, you have the electives, so you can pick up the subjects that you are more keen to study, and then it's focused on that. So for me, I chose more finance related and economics related subjects rather than pursuing marketing and leadership. So the course has tilted slightly towards finance.
Okay. You did also mention you opted firstly for a placement year.
Yeah.
Can you brief a little bit about what happens in a placement year?
So basically, a placement year is after it's done after your second year. So basically, you don't do the third year directly. You have a opportunity to work for 1 year with the companies. So in placement year, the university will help you build your CVs, prepare you for the interviews, and you'll have a lot of job options, and you have to apply for that. If you work as a placement year, you have a benefit of doubt that you have 1 year work experience before you complete your degree. So it would be better for you have 1 year experience when you apply to the job markets. But
so is it like a paid placement?
So basically it's a paid placement, but you have to pay a lot of fees to the university as well. It's the 50% of the actual tuition fee that you pay for that year.
Okay, that you pay to the university. Okay, but you get a paid placement.
Yeah, the paid
and the
placement.
Companies are basically you go and look for any company, or the university would recommend you what company?
So university recommends us, and they also like help us find some good jobs, but it's basically you that have to look for the job you want to work in, and you applying there. They'll just help polish your skills and
So say for example you want to go for a trader's job or an asset management, are those options available?
Those options are also available. It's just that you have to start working earlier on them, because I was keen in going into asset management job if I would have pursued the placement year. So it's just you have to start working a little earlier, because asset management firms, they start their applications earlier, so you have to be prepared for them. Other than that, the leadership, marketing, all those roles are easier to get than those roles. Yeah,
that's nice. So why did you cancel the plans for placement?
So as I belong from a business family, I had this in mind that I have to pursue my own business. So earlier I wanted a corporate experience, and so that I can handle my company more
in an efficient way.
But then I compared like the things in both the corporate companies and in small companies done quite differently. So I wanted that I directly go to my firm and work from there, so I get the experience at earlier ages and I can do new things with that.
So that's what the plan after your studies are.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about life in Birmingham. Where do you live? Tell us about different accommodations.
Yeah, so in my first year I was living in a accommodation provided by University of Birmingham. So it's around a 20-minute walk from the university. And
20-minute walk from the university itself is a 20-minute walk.
It's not a 20. So basically the main campus, this is the main campus that we are sitting in, is surrounded by 3 different accommodation villages. So it's Vale that I lived in was one of them. So it's a walk from.
Okay.
Birmingham is quite a big campus.
Correct. It's a massive campus. I think it's a 20-minute walk within. So then
it's much more than that. Actually, if you go till the end, so in my first year, the accommodation I was living was the last one. So I had to walk approximately like 25-30 minutes to come to the campus. Yeah.
Oh, that's massive. And that's within the campus?
That's within the campus. It's a part of the campus. You walk within the campus. So the area I lived in that time had like around 8 accommodations. So there were thousands and thousands of children there.
So So then there are 3 main.
So right now that I'm living, it's Selyoke. It's the closest one to the campus. But right now I'm not living in a student accommodation. It's a privately owned house that I live in.
Okay, but not Selyoke. You were living in Selyoke.
I was living in Vale Village. Right now I'm living in Selyoke.
Okay, Selyoke is quite popular.
Selyoke is quite popular.
Heard of a lot of stories.
Yeah, so generally people shift to Selyoke as it's the closest one, and the things you have, it's more fun to be in Selyoke because
what makes it
we have clubs, we have the shops.
Oh, really? Okay.
Areas over it's a massive.
That's nice. And how much rent do you pay?
So right now I'm paying around $650 per month plus the bills.
Okay, and that's for
studio that's not for a studio, it's for en-suite. So the house I live in right now has 8 rooms, so 8 people sharing the same house.
Same kitchen, but
same
en-suite.
kitchen but en-suite. So it's
Okay.
650 per bill, so around 750.
Okay.
For
Well,
the
it
whole
must be a
month.
nice.
Yeah, it's
well
a
done.
nice house.
So why didn't you choose to stay in the university accommodation?
So generally the accommodations that are in Selyoke are good, but it's quite difficult to get in them after, because universities generally prefer to give the accommodations to the first year students rather
Okay.
than opting for second year. So
Okay.
I applied for it, but I didn't get the best one, so I applied outside.
How much was the rent at your university?
It's kind of
accommodation?
similar. It's slightly expensive, but the good thing is the contract is only till the dates that you are living in Birmingham, so it works according to the university calendar. But when you have to rent a house privately outside the university, then you have to have a contract for the whole year, so you pay on some extra money. It's cheaper, but at the end it's the same thing when you
I get
calculate
it.
for
So
the
then
cost.
you just pay for term time.
Yeah.
When you're out, you don't
Yeah.
pay. No, it makes sense. So right now it's like a 20-minute walk.
Right now it's like a 5 or 7 minutes walk. Earlier in my first year it was
Okay.
25
Selyoke
minutes.
is just 5-7 minutes.
Selyoke, yeah, it's just 5
Okay.
7 minutes walk.
Okay. That's nice. Good. Tell me more about your classroom. How many students are there? How many Indians
Yeah.
there?
So the people count started decreasing from my first year. So I told you, business management, it's quite a basic course that you do. So in my first year there were approximately 450 people that were in the same class studying the same things. But as you start picking on electives, the optional courses, then the number of people has started to. So first year generally all my classes had around 400 people, but it was divided. So the teaching structure is divided into 3 parts. So it's lectures, workshops and seminars. So in seminars it's a group of smaller people, around 20 to 30 people discussing the practical questions, but in the lectures it's a lot of people. But as you start getting into higher years, like in second year, some classes would only have 30 people also, because that elective would not be have chosen a lot of people. Yeah.
Okay, and how is your assessment like?
So assessments in first year, they were mostly focused on essay based assignments, courseworks, but we had some of the exams, but as I have came into second year, it's I have chosen more finance related subjects, so it's more practical work. So it's a 50-50 division between the coursework and so I have 50% of the modules that I have exams and 50% is coursework.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Was it challenging in year 1 because coming from CBSE to
So yes,
courseworks?
When you come from CBSE, so in CBSE there is the thing, you just mug up the things and you give the exam, but when you come here there's a whole different way that they deal with the assessments, because you have to research a lot of papers, write articles. So I had some difficulty when I had come here, because you have to build a perspective about the topic, but I think that's better, because when you research a lot you build your own perspective about the topic. So I think it's better you learn more about the particular
nice
topic.
So when you chose your universities, you mentioned Warwick was your option one. What all did you put in your personal statement? Was it something additional, or did you have any extracurricular activities?
The extracurriculars I was a part of. The school had a community team. So
were you part of that?
I was a part of that. So we did a lot of things within the school. We had camps. We had donation camps that we used to sell things that were made in school and we used to donate. We also made a sanitary pad machine in the school itself to donate sanitary pads to one of the NGOs. And the second thing, I put the courses that I did. So I just mentioned that during COVID I had an inclination towards investing, so I did a lot of courses regarding that. And so that courses were put, and that course was actually from Dice University. So it was quite a good course, and I had the certificates. Other than that, some of the internships that I have done before the course, so all that
so you put all of that in the SOP. Do you think that would have helped to get?
Some kind of activities help a lot, because when you're applying outside, they don't just want to see your academic skills, they want to see what else do you have done. So it's
nice. That's quite insightful, because I've heard stories about students with amazing academics not being able to crack to good top universities because of those missing extracurricular things they've either not done or not mentioned the personal statements.
Yeah.
But good to know, Amil. Thank you very much for your time. It was, good to know you and your story. Thank you for listening to the Student Spotlight. We hope you found today's discussion valuable. If you liked what you heard, be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. We'll be back soon with some more stories and insights. Until then, continue learning and growing. See you in the next episode.